Let's talk about the tower garden compared to a raised bed. When I planted this a few weeks ago, you saw how big these plants were. I took the remainder of the plants, the ones that didn't fit in the tower garden, and planted them in a raised bed. I find it very interesting, the difference between the raised bed and the tower garden. Let's take a look. When I planted the tower garden, I had a few seedlings left over, about 15 seedlings or so. I took the remainder of those and planted them in this garden bed. One, just because I had extras. Two, later I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to compare the difference between the raised bed and the tower garden? Well, here it is. You can see it's not doing too well. There's about 15 plants in here. Most of the cabbage just is doing horribly. Two little tiny kale plants looks like they might actually survive. Now, I didn't set out to show that a raised bed is not as good as a tower garden. I'm not saying that at all. But in this case, this raised bed with the same plants planted on the same day did not perform as well. Now, if I were a brand new gardener, someone who just started with a raised bed versus a tower, wouldn't this be discouraging? It might make a person question whether they want to continue gardening or not. On the other hand, if you would have started with a tower garden and you got results like this, which I'm sure aren't perfect results, but they are certainly much better results, you wouldn't be discouraged, and you would have a garden on your patio or deck or somewhere easy to care for on a much smaller scale. Even the plants on the north side of the tower that's going to get less sunlight all day long are not doing too bad. They're not quite as big or quite as full as the ones on the south, but they're still growing, and we have harvested from them already. So far, my experience with the tower garden has been a positive one. I really like coming out and harvesting these nice young leaves for my salads. I also like seeing that the strawberries are growing well. I don't know how they're gonna do, we'll see later in the season, but it's fun to watch them grow. If you haven't done it yet, hit subscribe, like, and leave your comments below. Thank you for sharing this time in the Daddy Curb's garden. I'll talk to you soon. And looking at the strawberries as they are developing for the season.
Okay.